Hello, it's suzelfruz, and in this video I'm going to give you 4 tips on how to improve your art quickly. Now I'm just going to warn you, this video might be kind of long or rambly. It's not really scripted, so just going to let you know before we get into it. So the decade is ending, and as we go into 2020, you've probably noticed a lot of your favorite artists are posting their progress through the decade or through the year, and you may have looked at your own progress, and it can be really encouraging to look back at your old work, but it could also be discouraging if you feel like you haven't improved a lot. So in this video, I'm going to give you a few tips that help me improve and that you can use to improve your art as well in the new year. So the first tip, and I'm going to put this first because it's probably the most important tip on this whole list, and it kind of lays the groundwork for every other tip on this list. And I know you guys don't have a lot of time sometimes, so let's just put it at the beginning. And that is experiment with your art. It is so easy as an artist to get stuck in this kind of loop of only drawing what you're comfortable with, just staying in your comfort zone, not trying anything new. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with drawing what's easy for you. That's great. It's fun to just draw stuff that you're good at already and that you like drawing. But if that's all you ever do, you're never going to improve because you're just doing the same thing that you're already good at. So if you want to improve as an artist, you need to take time to try new things. Maybe you could try new mediums. If you mostly just draw with digital art, maybe you could try traditional art. Or you could even just try different brushes digitally. Or if you mostly draw with pencils, you could try drawing with markers. Or you could try digital art. And you could also experiment with your styles. You might try different art styles or change things about your style just for fun. You could also practice drawing different subjects. For example, if you mostly draw characters, maybe you can try drawing like backgrounds. And if you mostly draw animals, you could try drawing humans. And if you mostly draw still lives, you could try drawing living things. So it's so important as an artist to constantly be trying new things, never get stuck in doing the same thing. And again, there's nothing wrong with taking time to just draw what you're good at and draw what's fun for you. But if that's all you're doing, then you're not going to improve. So if you're running low on motivation and if you don't feel like drawing, then it's good to take some time and just draw what you feel like drawing and what you're good at, because that'll just, getting something on the page will help you feel more motivated. And I might do a separate video on motivation another time. But in terms of trying to improve, it's going to take time to draw stuff that you wouldn't normally draw and get out of your comfort zone. And if you're starting on a drawing and you feel uneasy about it or feel challenged, that's good. That means that you are doing something you don't normally do. It means you're doing something that's out of your comfort zone, and it means that even if the first few drawings you do that are out of your comfort zone are really crappy, just keep pushing at it and you will improve. And it's just being willing to make a few crappy drawings to achieve the end of making a good drawing that's something you haven't really done before. It's that process that's going to really help you improve. So the second tip is to draw from life. And this is really important. If you're trying to improve, it's so important to learn the fundamentals. And one of the best ways to do this without needing to take a fancy class or anything like that is to just draw from life. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically where you draw from things that are around you in real life. So it's not the same thing as using a photo reference. Photo referencing is good and it can be very useful, but photos don't have this three-dimensional property that real life has. And that's what makes drawing from life more difficult than drawing from photos. And it also is what makes it better for you as an artist and will help you improve. So you don't even need to go to a life drawing class. You don't need to make full finished pieces all the time that are drawn from life, but just take a sketchbook out and just try drawing the stuff around you. If you're sitting in a room, you could just try drawing the furniture, try to get that perspective. If you're in class and you don't have lots of work to do, you're kind of bored, just try doing quick gesture sketches of your classmates or your teacher. And again, they don't need to be finished pieces. What really is important is just getting the basic shape, just getting the basic pose, just drawing those quick sketches. And drawing from life is going to really help you learn about anatomy, and it can help you learn about lighting. You can practice doing different shading that you're looking at from life and then drawing. And so it's really going to help you learn the fundamentals, and you probably heard the phrase, learn the rules before you break them, and that's really true. And if you're learning the fundamentals through drawing from life, even just sketching things around you every once in a while, it's going to really help you. And again, I'm not saying that if you have a cartoony art style, you have to stop doing that art style and focus exclusively on drawing from life. I'm not saying that at all. Just take some time every once in a while to draw from life. Like, regularly just sketch from life. And you can still do cartoony stuff if you want to for fun, but regularly take some time, just sketch what's around you. And that's going to help you improve so much. And even if you don't like it at first, I know I hated life drawing at first, but the more I do it, the more I love it and really enjoy it. So you might find that you develop a love for it as well. So the third tip is to draw a little every day. And this is very important because if you stop drawing for a long time and then come back to drawing, you're going to have forgotten a lot of that muscle memory, a lot of those skills that you had built up. And you're going to forget how you drew certain things. And it's going to be really frustrating because you look at your old art and you wonder, how did I draw that? I can't even remember anymore. And that's why it's important to practice drawing all the time. Just like any other skill, you have to stay in practice. You have to keep your body tuned and primed for that skill. Whether it's sports, whether it's drawing, whether it's singing, you have to constantly practice. And when I say draw a little every day, I don't mean do a finished piece every day. If you try to do a finished drawing every day, you would burn yourself out so quickly. I would not recommend doing that. But if you are just doing a little sketch every day, it doesn't need to be a finished piece, but just fill a page in your sketchbook. Just do some doodles. Do some sketches from life. I would challenge you this Christmas break. Every day, just try and fill a page with like doodles. If you don't have a sketchbook, that's fine. Just grab a piece of lined paper or printer paper and just fill it with sketches. Fill it with drawings. They don't need to be finished. They just need to be brief, and they need to practice your skills. And of course, you can also do a finished piece if that's up your alley. But if you don't have time, just take that time to do some sketches. It shouldn't take that long. But if you're just drawing a little bit every day, doesn't need to be a lot, but just a little bit every day, it's going to keep your skills intact. It's going to help you constantly be in the game so that when you do decide to sit down and do a finished piece, you'll have the skills you need. You won't have forgotten it. So it's really important to just always practice drawing and do a little bit every day. So the fourth and final tip is to emulate other artists. And this is the most dangerous tip on this list. Yes, danger warning. Not for kids under 13. This video contains dangerous content. Very dangerous. Don't touch. The reason this tip is dangerous is because it can hurt you so much if you're comparing yourself to other artists, and it can really hurt your self-esteem. But it can also be good if you know how to do it properly. So I know when I was younger and I wasn't on the internet, when you're that young and you're not on the internet, everyone around you says, "Oh, your art's so good, Susanna, your art's amazing, you're so talented." And so I kind of grew up thinking, yeah, I'm good at art. I mean, I don't think I was proud about it, but I definitely had this idea that I was good at art. And then I started my channel and started seeing other artists, and I realized I'm not as good as I could be, and there's definitely a lot of things I need to work on. I'm not saying I hate my art. I think I'm good, but I realized there were so many skills I needed to learn that I wasn't that good at the moment. And just seeing other artists around me who were my age or younger and were just so good at what they did, it could be discouraging because I felt all these years of practicing hadn't really mattered. I just wasn't where I should be based on my age. But then when I was able to look past all that, oh no, my art's not good enough, and just look at their art and say, what is it about their art that makes it so good? And when you can just stop comparing yourself, stop saying my art's not good enough, and instead say, why is their art good? And if you can point out what it is you love about your favorite artists, then you can try and emulate that and copy that in your own work. And it doesn't even need to just be one artist. In fact, if you're copying different elements you love from different artists and combining them into your own unique style, it's going to really help you. So maybe there's one person who does really clean, beautiful line art. It's just gorgeous. You can watch their speed draws and figure out how do they do that liner, and you can ask them, how can you give me some tips? And I'm sure they would be happy to help you out. Or you could just look at their liner and think, I want to draw a line art like that. Don't think my line art's not good enough. Just think, I want to draw line art like that. I'm going to practice drawing line art like that. And if you feel like you're not going to be able to separate the voice in your head that's just comparing yourself and being self-destructive from analytically analyzing, that's kind of redundant, but just analyzing other people's art to find what you like about it so you can copy it in your own work. If you can't separate those two sides, then don't just disregard this tip entirely until you feel you can do that, because again, if you get locked into this pattern of beating up your artwork because it's not as good as someone else's, you are going to fail. Let me tell you right here and right now, there are a ton of other people out there who are way more talented than you. There is always going to be someone, no matter how good at art you get, or anything you do, no matter how good you get at it, there is going to be someone who is more skilled than you. And you just have to accept that. And you can't always beat yourself up over it. But what doesn't matter is the skill. It's not all about the skill, because there's always someone more skilled than you. If you want to make good art, you have to be confident. Because your confidence, people will see that. It will come off in your artwork. If you are confident in what you do, and not proud, like you know you have room to improve, but if you are able to just put art out there and say, I made this, that's going to leave an impact on other people, and it will actually help them see your art as better than it might actually be. And you need to also be confident with yourself, saying, I just need to work on my art, I can improve, I have what it takes, I've got this. Instead of beating yourself up. So again, if you feel like you can't do that yet, then just disregard this tip. But if you feel like you can and you want to try, look at other people's art again, and say, what is it about it that I like? And just try and emulate that in your own work. And that's going to really help you. And that really helped me when I was also on the internet for the first time, is just looking at other people's art, looking at the art I was seeing around me, and seeing what is it do I like about the art. So one thing that was really a thing I wanted to work on when I was first starting digital art was hair shading. Because, you know, everyone's making hair shading tutorials, and I never actually watched any of those, which, I mean, I probably should have, but I just looked at people around me who were really good at shading hair, and I tried to emulate what they did. And at first, I had no idea what brushes they used or how they did it, but I just kept trying, and now I think my hair shading's gotten a lot better. I still have room to improve in that area, but just looking at other people and getting that motivation to try and emulate what they did really helped me improve, and I actually found my own style of hair shading, which is unique, even though I was emulating other people. And you might say, I don't want to do this tip because that's copying, but that's not true. You can't own an art style, and besides, your own natural style will come through as you keep practicing. I just want to tell you, just look at other people's art and figure out what it is that makes it good, and just try that. So those 4 tips again are: experiment with your art. Always be trying new things. Never get stuck in your comfort zone. Number 2, draw from life. Draw things around you. Learn the fundamentals of anatomy, lighting, composition by sketching stuff you can see. And number 3, that would be draw a little every day. Don't let your drawing skills atrophy. You gotta constantly be just doing little sketches every day to keep your skills up. And number 4, emulate the artists that you admire. And again, not comparing yourself in an unhealthy way, but just emulating what you love about them, using them as an example for your own work. And I just want to finish this video off by saying, as you go into the new year and the new decade, don't give up. Never give up. Your art is awesome. You are a great person. Just keep pushing. You have what it takes. It doesn't matter if you started drawing 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 60 years ago, or if you started drawing yesterday. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you started drawing because you watched an anime and you wanted to try drawing like anime. It doesn't matter if you started drawing because you saw one of those how to draw books. It doesn't matter if you started drawing because you were just a 1-year-old who just started drawing, because it doesn't matter how you started drawing. And it doesn't matter how old you are or how long you've been doing it. If you keep practicing, regardless of your natural talent, if you just keep practicing, you can get better. So as you go into the new year, don't give up. Keep practicing. And remember to always look back at your old art, because it will be so encouraging to see that you've improved if you just look back and see what you did 1 month ago, 2 months ago, a year ago, however far back it is where you can see improvement, and that's really encouraging. So just don't give up. Always try new things. Don't be afraid to fail. Instead of being afraid to fail, be afraid of getting stuck in your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to fail. You've got this. And I just want to wish all of you guys the best of luck. And if you've never done art before and you think about doing it in the new year and you think about starting it as a new skill, I would say absolutely go for it. It's going to be great, and I know that you have what it takes. So that's pretty much all for this video. If you liked this video and it was helpful for you, then consider dropping a like. And if you want to see more art tips videos, more speed paints, and art related videos, then you can subscribe to my channel by hitting that red button and turning on notifications. That will help support my channel. And if you want to help support my channel in an even better way and get some art from me, then you can commission me. The details will be in my website, which is in the description. And so that's pretty much all I wanted to say, but that's it for this video. So sorry if it was kind of long and rambly, but I'm not really good at scripts, so I hope you enjoyed it anyway. And bye, Suzel crew. Let's stop the video now. This is really awkward, but you know, bye. Bye. Goodbye. Happy New Year and Christmas. And Hanukkah. Yeah.
Drop.